See, yeah, it means like we are going to perform most of the React implementations, and we will try to note down the questions also. What how much what kind of questions interviewer gets asked on that part, which we already implemented and know, but we don't know how like a cross questions uh, uh, like interviewer can ask to us. Okay, so I am sharing my screen and switching off my video. Let me do.
Sorry to interrupt, Sagar. So just keep in mind, we have some fresher also. We have some people from .NET, Java, and from Angular, and some are from React also. Okay, like that you can plan your session.
Okay, no issue, no issue.
Yeah.
uh, okay, I am a bit unfamiliar with the this Zoom. Just a minute.
What you want to do?
I'm trying to like share my screen.
Just click on share. A pop-up will come. If you want to share whole screen, entire screen option is there. Just select that.
Okay.
It will
Let
share
me know if
complete
you
screen.
are able to screen.
Wait. Currently, we are able to see Chrome only.
Okay. How about
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Windows
Windows
Explorer?
folder now. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
A complete screen is visible now. Fine. You can go ahead now.
Okay. Okay. So we will start with like how we create basically. So it happens like someone can know the details and it feels like I know this, it is getting repeated, but there is something which we know to like in depth, right? So just follow. To like start with create the React template, no? Earlier we have the create React app, right? Create dash React dash app, this command. But we have one more option now, that is a wait. So if you search wait command for React, or just go to the wait.dev, you will see there is one command to like create a what we say, a template, right? So which I already know. You can go to this site and know, right? So let's open here CMD. Okay, and that command is something like create React wait at the rate latest means, otherwise you can specify the any particular version also, right? So it will ask us project name like a React CRUD. Okay, we want React, right? And I always prefer TypeScript. Even if you like hesitate to write, it's not a problem. We will go one by one. Just be there and try to like understand everything. So let me open this folder in Visual Studio Code.
Sir,
So here we know, right? We have this package .json. There is a project name, version. There are few commands and there are few dependencies, right? So let me like open the terminal. You can go to like view and I think command palette, right? Or terminal also. And here first we need to like install all the packages by npm I. So whatever packages are there in the dev dependencies, that will get installed, right? And after that we can start our React application and see what boilerplate code they have given to us. So let's wait for some time. Okay.
sir, now CRA is deprecated, right?
Yes. uh, Deprecated means what we can say, we have like a major benefits apart from that. So that's why people started not to use that and wait.
Sir, can you tell me what benefits of the wait once?
Maybe in next studio. For this, we are just focusing on the React. It's not like as a React developer, uh, we are okay to just create a boilerplate. So in depth, what we say, the benefit is like when we create packages, how it runs, right? How internally it handles. That is what it is. So just for a developer, even we are good to like start. Maybe we can go depth in any videos. Uh, okay.
Sir, what
So
was
just
the
to
command while creating the
okay,
project, like
you can
initial?
go to the yeah v.dev, right? There in guide or here, right? So if you scroll down, here you will find one npm command, npm create with @latest, right? Then it will ask you to select the package or what we say React or Angular or other. You can select it and select whether you want JavaScript, TypeScript, all that. So that will be handy. That's not an issue. Once you click on that command, no, it will be easy to just check. Now we have installed all the dependencies. We can run the project by this command dev. Okay. So how we reach till this command is npm run. If we have to run, use dev. If we wanted to build, use build. If we wanted to check any linting or formatting related things, use lint and preview also. So I just want dev, right? So npm run dev. Okay, so it has open this command. So if you know, if you have used the create React app, no, it the initial was taking long time, but in Vite it is not. So that is how internally they have managed a lot. Okay, so this is what boilerplate application we get. So if you see here, count is getting changed. This is Vite logo and React logo. So we don't need it. uh, so I can just go to the main.tsx. Here I can see it is calling the app component, right? So I can go to the app.tsx. Here is what our code. So if you don't know about tsx, so this is a tower, what we say. If you use JavaScript, it will be JSX, but as we are using TSX, it is TSX. So TSX means, so if you see this component, we have this JavaScript function. Okay, it's just a function, right? Function, and inside JavaScript function, we are able to write the HTML, right? So even if you see in HTML, we are able to write some what we say JavaScript code. See here a JavaScript variable I have used, right? So whatever, so with this TSX or JSX file, we get power to write the HTML and JavaScript combined, right? So this is the only place we are able to see this kind of thing, right? So then you will suppose if you know, like browser only understand the JS or HTML, right? So that's how we have to keep our application running. So this application inside use the Babel, which converts this TSX into JS JS file, which browser can understand, right? So what I can do is I can just remove this code, fine, and remove unnecessary things and this also. So we will not have anything. Okay, so let's jump to our application, what we are going to create. So it will be simple.
Hello, sir.
So yeah,
Uh, Instead of .tsx, can I use .ts? It's working fine.
so if you write like that, you our compiler will
Or
give us some.
.js only.
See, you can, but our compiler will give error, like you cannot write HTML inside that. You can just write. So suppose I create here, what we say. See, you cannot write like a HTML code inside it, because now our compiler are very what we say smart, right? Even in our restrictions also, here if you see any packages like tsconfig and all, there they have rules like if it is a ts file, you only should write the JavaScript code. If it is TSX, you are free to write JavaScript code or a component HTML, right? So in short, now you are not able to write, but if you try with what we say without TypeScript, I believe you will able to, but I'm not sure because I'm mostly using the TypeScript and I have this
Yes,
habit
sir.
of
When we use JS
using
now,
it.
we can able to write JSX also in JS.
Okay. Yeah, but in TypeScript you will get that because in TypeScript we have a lot of rules, so you won't be able. But in JS you are free to write anything, right? Okay. So
Sir, then
in
what's
this
the
application,
difference? Like in we can write JSX in JS, then why we are going to use JSX?
sorry.
Sir,
Okay,
if we
you
can
mean
write
like
JS, yeah.
okay. So see, this file particular JSX is meant to write HTML and JavaScript code inside, right? If you know, JS file is just particular for the what we say JavaScript functions. But if you are able to write that code, JS, HTML plus JavaScript inside JS, it again I think it's possible because of like create React app, that extensions, right, which inbuilt they convert that into again JavaScript. So it's depend like what you are using, create React app or Vite. That's how they internally manage. Okay, so it's a flexibility provided by our packages what we are using, but better to not do that, otherwise you will not get what we say intelligence, right, and all that. So today we are going to implement application, a simple what we say a to do or task list application where here we will have this task component, right, and we will need one form, right, where we you can insert the text, then create on button, right, like add, and once click on add, here you will able to see the list. Okay, so suppose read, write, all that. Okay, so we will see this is a task component, and here we have two functionalities basically. One is form, right, where we can type and click, and second is a list, right? So we can create such. So if I create one folder here, or just to keep it simple, create here task.tsx, which will be our parent component, right, this one. So let's write one functional component task. Okay, so if you see in app.tsx, this is what a typical way of writing JavaScript function, and I am using here a arrow functions. Okay, I hope you guys know the difference between arrow function and typical function. And we need to like export this export default task. So here I use task. So let me just create one file here, notes.text. So what you will find is when to use default, right? The difference between default export, and export. So you can search on that what's the difference in that. Then you can like know the arrow functions also. What is benefit of it, right? So just to see, I'm writing here like I'm on task page. Let's save it. So we need to like export this or use this inside app.tsx, right? So if I come here and type task and click on enter and close this, so you see it is by default means automatically gets imported, right? So this is our app component. We have here task. You can click F12 to go to that component, and here we have task. which should show on the page, our page, right? So this is how React is simple. Just to get started, right? Now what we need one form, right? So let me create here one component, task form, right? Here we will have these two fields. Okay, okay, these two fields, and then we will have the list component also, task list. Here we will have the here we will have list, right? List, right? So this task component will call the form and will also call the list also, right? So this flow we are going to write. So let's create one more component, task form dot tsx, and here task form just return HTML task form, right? And we need to export this also. Export default tasks form. So here, whenever we create component, no, its name should start with capital. Means it should be a capital, right? Then in similar way, we can create task list.tsx, right? Let's create here task list, and I am returning here return task list, right? And export default task list. So I think this is easy, right? Anyone, you should not have much questions. This is just like a component we are exporting, and this is dummy text, right? Okay, let me just create task folder, and let me move this 1, 2, and 3 inside task folder. So it should be easy for me also to write, and for you also to be understand, right? Okay. So from task, what we can call is, first we can call the form, task form, right? And after that, I can call the task list, task list. Okay, so if you come on home page here, you will see this is task form and this is the task list. Okay, if I open the if I inspect it and go to the component, so you can install, I think, this extension, React Developer Tools Chrome extension, so you will able to see this component. Now this is our app component, this is our task component, and this task component have two components like task form and task list. Okay, now if I go to the task form, what we need is input box. Okay, so let's create what we say section. Okay, and one more thing here, this I wrote in this way, right? So this is what we say React fragment, React fragment. Okay, so why we write that? So suppose from one component we only can return the one, what we say, HTML tag. So suppose I have to like just need one input tag.
Can you please just zoom the screen?
Okay, fine. Yeah. Now,
Yes. Okay.
okay. So if I write here input, okay, and if I want button also, it is not possible because one component can return only one element. So what we typically do, we wrap this inside a div. Okay, div is always we use as a wrapper. Okay, so what we have done here, we added extra div, which is unnecessary. We don't need it. So if you like inspect this, you will see we have added the extra div. So suppose we have like 1,000 components, and if we try doing this, trying adding this extra div, it will be lot of DOM. Just to avoid that, we can simply use React fragment. Okay, so it don't add the extra div. It will directly render your these components in the DOM, right? So this is one way. Other is React dot fragment. Okay, so you just need to import the React. But this is a simple way you can use. Okay, so here in task form, I have input. Let's type here text, right? And I need one button, or I can use this as a section, and I can add here button. Okay, let's give it's a add button. Okay, and now if you go to the page, here is our input and add button. Okay, now what we need, so whatever I type here, I have to keep that somewhere, right? So we have a state is nothing but what we say a memory for the component. So this is our component, and if we use state, so that is a memory for that component. Okay, so how we use is we have this use state. So this is nothing but a hook. So you can, okay, in here, what is hooks? Okay, so use state is nothing a hook, which gives us a power, a functional component, a power to have the capabilities of React. So we are using, I think, 18 plus something version. Okay, 19, right? But when we was on like a 16 version, 2 3 years back, there we used to use class components because the functional component did not have that power to have like a state and other functions. Okay, after 16.8 version, we get this power. So the functional component can also have the React capabilities. Okay, so we use in this way. So just like know this format. So here we will have two things actually. Let's say like value and set value, right? And we can tell like use state is of kind string, right? We can define here this is kind of string, and by default value is empty. Okay, so this holds the first parameter holds the value, and second parameter is a function which we need to call like in this way. Set value, if you want like 10, so pass 10, so that will get set inside this value, and component will re-render it again. And suppose if you are using here value in this way, so suppose inside HTML if you wanted to write JavaScript variable use, so we wrap this inside the curly braces, so they can understand this is a JavaScript variable or JavaScript code. Okay, so we don't need, but so suppose you have to set value here, you just need to call this in this way. Okay, so here one more thing, why I write in this way. Okay, so you need to understand what we say array structure, which is in ES6. So you can read what are all features we have in ES6. So you will understand what is like array destructuring is. Okay, so then you will also know get to know what user state is actually returning. Okay,
Is it necessary to define the string or data type?
it's better. So suppose if I remove this, we anyhow have to provide default value other than so Suppose if you don't provide, it will take undefined. And if you wanted to use it somewhere, uh, your compile will what we say get confused, like what kind of thing it is. It is a string or boolean, so it's a problem for you. It's only. So suppose if I provided here default value as empty string, it will be of type string. So see here, type
Yeah.
string,
Yes.
right? But better for our coding understanding also, write string here.
Okay.
Okay. So you will also easily know like this is string, right? Okay. So this is fine. So now whenever I type here, I have to like set that value, whatever I type inside this value. Okay. So there we have on, I think on change something. Okay. On change. And this is what is the event, right? And if you go inside that, you will see it is kind of like a change event handler. And if I hover in it, it is a arrow function, right? Arrow function, which gives us event, which is of type change event. So what I'm going to do here, it will be arrow function, right? This is going to give us event, which is of type change event. Okay. And I can particularly provide what kind of event is, because we have a lot of things: input, button, then form. Everyone is a change event or event, right? But if you want it to be particular, like this is for just what we say HTML input element, so we need to provide HTML input element. And here instead of void, I can have the this curly braces, so I can write the code. I will not mess up this HTML, so better I will create one handler function, right? Handle input change. Okay, and I can copy this as it is and write it here, and I can use this arrow function reference to pass at this place. Okay. So whenever I type, they have this reference, it will go to this place and we are free to write our code. Okay, so this event dot target. Okay, so this is what the benefit is. Like when you type, you get this intelligence. So this is benefit of TypeScript also. So if I remove this, right, if I remove all these and just write like I am unaware of what kind of event is, and if you try to like write, you will not get. So that is a benefit of defining the types also, right? So here we have this target, and whatever you type in the input box, that you will get as a value. Okay, that you will get as a value. So this will take whatever you type in the input box. Okay. So what I can do, I can call the set value. So whatever I'm typing, it comes here, and I'm setting that value inside this variable. Okay. If I use here just value as it is, okay, and come to the browser and trying to like write, so you will see here as well, because we are using that value here. So whatever you type, that gets set into value, and our components gets re-render, and this HTML will get the new value. That is how it is shown here. Okay. And I can pass the value here to the what we say HTML tab. So why we have to do this? So suppose you have to clear the input, how you can do? Okay, so how you can do is you can just write one like a button. Okay, let's type here clear on click, right? On click, what I can do is simply just call the set value. Okay, I think I missed something. Set value and just place here empty string, right? Okay, on click, something is messed up here. Okay, fine. So here if you have this value, right, and click on clear, so this is how we have to like clear the value, and that will get reflected in the input box. We don't need this button, but it's fine. Okay, so this is called the controlled component. So controlled component, and there is one uncontrolled, also uncontrolled component. So see, you know this, but you don't need, you are not aware about, might be the terminology. Why this is control component is like we are storing the input fields, that data inside a state. But if you use a ref, okay, reference, use ref, there is one use ref also, that makes this component uncontrolled. So you can go through that controlled and uncontrolled definitions and see what it is. Okay, so this is fine as of now. So when I click on add, right, on click, I can call handle add task, and I can create one arrow function here, and this place we know like what is the value or that task, right? So on clicking this add task, what we have to do, right? What we have to do, so we have to like call this. So here we need list, right? So this component, form component, cannot directly communicate with the list component. They don't have direct relation. They can only communicate through task. So when whatever like task I add here, I have to like store in the task component. Suppose here is a list, right, actually, which will be like read. Suppose I type here read, click on add, I have to pass that data to this component. This will have a state, right? Whatever where I can update it, right? And this list I can pass to this component. That will be last part. So for now, we have to like whatever, whenever we click, we have to pass that data to our task component. So how we can do? Okay, so here this is our task form. Okay, so this task form will need like a one interface. Let's say I props one callback function on add. Okay, which will be of type like this way. So here I can pass the value, which will be a string, and this component here I can say like props will be type of props. So props is nothing but whatever data we wanted from parent component to send to our component, that I define in this way. Okay. So if you see in task, now it is showing like property on add is missing. So here I can write like on add, task add. And here we can write, so you know the syntax right here. This will be a function, callback function, which will give us a value. So what I can do is handle, or I can say like add new task. And let's create one arrow function. Okay, so this will give us value right here, value. This is what syntax we have written. It should give us value. Okay, so what I can do is I can just write console.log. Let's be confirm like we are getting the value. Any questions till now? I think we are good, right? Okay. So these props need to call on add. Okay. So this is going to be a callback function which will notify our parent component. So here we can pass this value, or let me rename it because it will get clear to you. Otherwise, it's fine. So this value here, it holds the task whatever we type, and we need to like call back this to our parent component. Okay. So let's go to the browser here. Let's inspect it. Go to the console, right? And here I am writing read. Okay, some it should print actually. Let's check what's the problem. Okay, here console.log, handle click, props.on add. Okay, so here we are passing the value also. On click in handle task, add task. Okay, so it looks like it should print something. Let's check. If you go to the task, okay, task, for first check like whether we are getting clicked here. So yeah, we are getting here clicked, and then we need to go to the task component, right? Okay, this is a task. This is a task. Let me save it again. Why it have not render? Let's refresh it. Task. Okay, now it is. So I believe if I type here read and click on add. Okay, yeah. So it is our console.log is working, right? Might be some refreshing problem, but we are getting the data in our parent component. Okay, so what we have done till I click here, I get value this place. But when I click, I need to clear this field also. So how we can do, we know, right? So once we pass this, we can call set value and provide here empty data. So in this way, it will get clear also. See how easy it is. You just need to keep your states updated. HTML will our this will work as it is. Okay. Now we are done with this task for now. Okay. Now we need to deal with task component and then task lists. So here we will need to hold this list, right? So for that, what I can do is I can again use a state hook, right? And I need to create one interface. Okay, interface. I will say my task will look like this, which will have ID, and which will have what we say task, right? So this is a model, a structure I define here. uh, our task will look like this, and this use state will be of type, right? I task, and it is list. Okay, not a single, it will be a list, and its default value will be empty array. Okay, and we need to hold this in some like a variable. So let's name it task list. I wanted to set value here, so I need to write one function also, set task list. Okay, so by default it is empty, and this is the model. So when I click add new task, what I can do is I can create one like a model, a new task, which will be of type I task, right? So here what we need ID. Okay, so for now I am using like a date dot now to string, because we need unique ID, right? Okay, so this will give us a unique ID, and whatever the value we get, a new task we get, that I am setting in the task. Okay, value. So this is our new task that we need to add into set task list. So let's add that set task list. So suppose we have like a multiple task, like read, write, and if we add like write new task like coding, and I click on add, we have to add this new task in the existing list, right? So for that, how we can do is, this is what again a JavaScript concept, task list, and here I can add the new task. Okay, so this is a destructuring, I think spread operator we are doing, and we are adding the existing list in this way. Let's save it. And if I go and inspect here, I type here read. Okay, let me remove. If I write here write and click on add, and if I go to the component, if I go to task here, here is our state. So this is what our to list, right? This is ID and this is our task. Now what we have to do, okay, so here we have list in our task component. Now we need to pass this list to a task list component so they can render. Okay, so go to the task list. Here again, we can say like I need a list, right? For that we can create interface. Let's name it props. It means I need a list, right? Task list, or let's name it list, which will be of type I task, which we have already created here in our parent component. Okay, so let me export this so other components can also use, right? If I go to the task list and click control dot, we can import that from add task. Okay, this component need props, so need props which will be of type this interface, right? So let's provide it. Okay, now you can see task dot component is giving us a problem. Like you need to provide the list to this component. So how we can do? We can pass the list, and this is nothing but the we are storing in this variable, right? Task list. So we can just provide this as it is to this. Okay, anyone have any questions here, or I am going fast? Please let me know. Okay, so okay, let me go forward. So in this task list component, now we are getting the list. Okay, so how we can access this? Props dot list. Okay, so here we will have list. Let me take this. Okay, let's destructure it again. So now I'm doing object destructure. Okay, so this props is nothing but the object, right? And to destruct the object, we write curly braces. And here I will get list. You can directly use in this way also. List to props. Okay, sorry, props dot list. So this is a like a old way. Right, so just follow this one. You can add in the notes also along with arrow. Where is that arrow destructure? You can find object destructure also. Okay. So in this way we destructure the object. Now we here we have the list, which is a what we say is a array, right? So to loop to the array, before that let me create the table. Okay, table have the body t body. Okay, and t body will have the t rows. Okay, t table row. So this table row will nothing but our task list. So I can use here JavaScript code. This is JavaScript variable, and we can loop through this by map. So map is a JavaScript function which iterates on the list and returns the exact list. Okay, so I can say here it will be give us a task, and I can return here t array. Okay, let me tell you. Just let me write first. I will uh, tell you what is happening here. So this is a list. I'm iterating to all tasks, right? Here I will get one task. That task have like one. Let me rename this to atom. This atom have this variable task, right? Which we add read or write or anything. So here I'm printing that, and we are returning. So if you can write this in the function also. So if you write here code like render task, okay, you are pretty means you are free to write any kind of code. Either you can write here or you can write here also. So here I will get atom, which will be of type I task, right? And you here you just return the table row. Table row will show atom dot task. Okay, so instead of writing this, you can use in this way. render task, and here I need to pass the atom. Okay, this is clear. If you go in our like site, so here see to already render coding, click on add, see this is like updating. So let me tell you again, I'm writing here is my state, I am updating my state. So whenever I update a state, components gets re-render, the new list, updated list gets passed to this component, and this component again re-renders and show us our new task, that is coding. Okay, so again, I am senior and I know like how to refactor it. So let's add to your bucket list also. If you go to the map, it is having callback function. Try to understand even if you not able to, but try it. So map is having callback function. So what we can do is I can directly write here like a callback task. Okay, renderer. And here what this map is returning is callback function. This is a value and index and array. So I just need value as of now. Atom, which will be of type I task. And I think I can return this code as it is. And I can just use this instead of whole code. Okay, what's the problem? It is returning JSX dot element. Okay. This I write at this place. This is callback function. Okay. Yeah, there I removed by mistake the this one, the ending parenthesis. So whenever map iterates, it will call our this callback function, and here is what it returns. So if you need index also, uh, you can write it here, right? Because this one have. So if you hover on map again, so this is all things it returns: value, index, and total array. Okay, I don't need index for now. Okay, so so one question again, I just don't need this. Why I use map only? Why not for each? Why not other looping structures? Why only map is allowed in the what we say HTML? So you can ask this question to yourself: why only map is allowed, right? So if you try to like use for each, it won't possible. Okay, so just do the research there, and as this is a list, we need to, I think console should give us some kind of error also. Okay, if I write coding again, coding 2, and click here, so key related some issues we should, yeah, see, key props we have to add to this table row. So I can add this key, and we already have atom.id, which is unique. Okay, so once I add it, that key related message should go. Let me refresh it. Let's write read. Again, some issue here. This will cause hydration error. Okay, task list. Okay, for now we will check this. We will check this error soon. Okay, as of now, any questions?
You told us that on map we can use index also. In which situation we use index also? Or how do we need to think about
Your
this kind of...
voice is too low, Rahul.
Hello, sir.
Can you please repeat again?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's a bit okay.
Okay. So you told us that on map we can use index also. So my question is, in which situation we can think, or we have to think that we can use index also? But like,
You means here index?
no, on map that you told us it is a callback function. It will take
Okay,
value
okay,
and
okay.
index.
That index, right?
Yes, yes.
So this index is nothing but what we say, the index of iterator. So suppose we have three lists, right? Read, write. And if you wanted to know what kind of index it is, like 0 or 1, okay, let's add this also. Let's use this, okay. So this is our task, and we can add here span. Okay, I am not that good in the HTML, but so let's use this index. So it's a 0, 1, so we can make index plus 1. So it will show as like a list. So this is first task, second task, right? So, okay, this way we can use. Let me add some styling, display flex. Let's add here a gap of like 15. Okay, read gap or some, there is some HTML. Let's check it. Okay, first let me wrap this inside span. And this also span, span. Oh, sorry, we are using tr, so here we can pass the td, right? I just forgot td and td. Read, write. Okay, so these are two. Now, as of now, what we have completed is in CRUD, create, then I think read, right? Now we have to like update, then delete. Okay, then we need to do delete also.
Can you
So
tell
these
me
two
more
parts we
about
have
the
completed. We need to like do the update.
hello.
Yeah.
Sir, can you tell me more about the hydration error?
Yeah. Okay. Text nodes cannot be a child. Text node, where is text node? Okay, this one. Okay, if I, so okay, I think we already solved this. Okay, that was because inside table row, no, we was, I think, directly adding the what we say, we are using that directly. So it was saying like we need to add a table, I think, this table data. So it has gone. So that's how like we need to follow the structures as it is. So we will not get this kind of like errors. If we miss anything in our laziness or what we say, anything, we will get such errors. Yeah, okay. So now what I can do is I can add the delete button. Instead of update, we will first focus on delete. So you will get some clear understanding. So I will add anchor tag. Let's say here cross. Let me add some styling, color, red. Okay. Okay. So this is how it is looking. I'm not mostly focusing on the styling, but let me quickly do, I think, content align or justify content. Space between. Okay. Justify content. Space evenly. Okay, this is fine. I'm good. You can apply the styling. Okay. So when I click on this cross, no, I have to delete this, what we say, task. But if you know the structure, we are here. Our cross button is here, but our actual data is in our this component, right? So same way, we click add button, right? We pass this event to our parent component. So same way we can do here. So if I click on the cross here in this component, I can call the callback function, notify this component like this is the ID I need to delete. We can update the state, right? So the same flow we can do. So let me on right here handler handle delete. Okay, and I am writing here a callback function because I need a task ID, which task to delete, right? I think here it is item dot ID, and let's write here constant handle delete for now. There I need ID, which is of type string, and some code to delete it, right? So when I click on this, okay, so by default behavior of anchor tag is we need to provide here href also hash, and when I click this, the by default behavior of anchor tag is refreshing the page, which we don't need, right? So here what I will do is in on click we will get event. So same way you can find here, I think here we find, right, what kind of type is. You can hover on click, you will get what kind of event is. You can write there. We are short of time, so prevent dot default prevent. So it will prevent the default behavior of the anchor tag, that is refreshing the page. Okay, and this is then our code function which will get called like this function. But we don't have list here, right? We have to like notify this task component. So again, what we can do is we can write here one on delete callback function, which will pass the ID to our parent component, and I don't need anything means void, right? This is how we write. I don't need anything, that is void. If you need anything, you will not get, because this is a callback function. Okay, so here see this is like giving us error. So let's do complete this task list. So when I click on handle delete, we can destructure here on add, right? From prop I am destructuring it, and I can just call this on add, sorry, on delete, right? On delete, on delete, and here on delete. So on delete, this callback function will notify this. Here we are not doing anything extra code, so instead of handle delete, I can directly call on delete, and I can remove this callback function. Okay, so it will directly notify to our this parent component. Now this is showing us error. We need to add here on delete, and here I can create one function delete task, right? Delete task. Let's write one arrow function delete task. We are getting ID, right? We have provided that syntax too. Okay, so let's again console.log. Let's check the ID to be sure, like whenever I'm clicking on the cross, I'm getting that ID. Okay, let's inspect it and click on the cross. So this is what ID is. If I click on this, this is what ID is. If you see here, it's in our task component at this place. Okay, I clicked here, I get here. Okay, now to delete, what we have to do, see here in components, if you go to the task component, here is our list, right? I get ID. If I delete this or remove from this state, see, it is get removed. If I remove it again, see, it is getting removed. Okay, see here, if I remove, it will get removed. Now if you come to the task component, here is your delete task, here is our ID which we have to delete. This is our list, right? So JavaScript code, first I need to like what we say, clone this or it's fine. Task list dot filter atom or task dot id equals to id. So this equals to meaning give me all the tasks which have the same id. Okay, but as we are deleting, we will write here ampersand. So don't give me the task having this id. So here we will get the updated list, right? Here I will get updated disk list. It will remove the task having this id. Okay, now here is our updated list that we can update in our state. So how we can update in set task list? We can just pass this updated list. Okay, updated list. So if I write here read write coding, okay, and I click on write, see, write has been deleted. If I click on read has been deleted. Okay, so this is how we delete. Then one question here for your knowledge: why filter did not mutate the task list? Just know a higher concept like what is mutating. Okay, what is mutating? Any questions till now?
Can you please explain for update?
Yeah,
How
that
do
we
you?
will do now. Okay. Uh, if everyone is good, we can proceed for update.
I want to know about the drilling. So what we are passing from parent to child, it's called a prop drilling.
Yes, right. So it's not a prop drilling. It's like just a passing prop. But what drilling is when you have like prop drilling is like here you have one component, second component, third component. Okay, third component 5. So you are passing this value to this prop, it is okay. But okay, here I get that task. But again, you pass this task from here to here. Okay, so this is prop drilling. Okay, and you can pass this prop to again new component. But suppose you are here in fourth component, right? Anyhow, you get task list and you are good. But here you have some action to like delete. You need to pass to this task first, then this, because actual task, the state which we said, right, is here. So it is this much hierarchy and is a not good practice. So for that we have like a state management library like Redux. But if you don't want to use Redux, you have use context hook, use context in React hook. Okay, you can go with that along with use reducer. So these are some hooks you can use it. But for this session, we are keeping it simple, right? But yeah, that's good. Like you have that like at least idea, so you can like take care of that thing. Now, okay. Now what we have to do? We have to like update. So first, what I will do is in task list, we don't need task form, right? So I am closing that task. So what I can do is I can add TD, and in TD I can add one anchor tag. Let's write here edit, right? Here href as hash. We don't need styling. By default, it will be blue and we are okay. So when I click on edit, so you have multiple options here. How you can first think like how you gonna edit it. Either you can open the model, right? You can do some here itself, like instead of like this task form, you can show the update form. That is another way. And one more way, like you click on edit, text box will come here itself, right? So we are going to do that, right? So once I click on edit, we will get a text box here. You can update test that text and it gets render. Okay, so this is very interesting. Now once I click here, what I need is on click. Okay, on click, let's write here one handle edit, right? Handle edit, and click right here constant handle edit.
Sir, I'm not getting the interface task part. Add task.
uh Add task, this one.
Yes,
Can you
yes,
please
sir. On the that function in the parameter callback task and render on line number 15, sir.
Okay, this one, callback task
Yes,
renderer. Okay,
I'm not getting
so
that interface part.
this one.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
okay, okay. So this we have written for this map. Okay, so if you wanted to write that code here itself, you need to write in this way. Let me explain. Okay, so if you check map, if you go and press F12, here you will see the syntax. It is saying like map will provide you a callback function. That callback function, they will provide us value like a current atom. Okay, the index of it. So okay, so current atom here is coding. Its index is 0, right? And
yes,
they will provide us whole list. So instead of writing all this here and making it complex, what I did is I created one callback task renderer. Okay, let me tell you again. And whatever that map provide us to this callback function, these three things, I have written that as a parameter to this function. Okay, it is just a way of I can say writing. So you can just simply copy this thing as it is and paste it here. Okay, okay, so this is callback function provided by map. But if you see, we are making our HTML complex, so that's why I just separated this code into a callback renderer function. So all this code as it is, I have written here. So it's, I know it's a bit hard for freshers to understand, but just for simplicity, what you can do, you can just keep this code, copy this code and remove and paste it here as it is. Okay, so this is just a map function. Did you get?
yes, sir.
Okay, so it's nothing but like a copying this inside one what we say one arrow function and passing the reference of this function instead of this code. So our HTML is, this one is clear and neat and clean, and we can do all the code at this place. Okay, now we have here edit function, handle edit, and we will need here like a task or atom, which atom we need to like edit. It means here we will get ID and that task value both. So when I click on edit, I can pass this atom, right? I can pass this atom as it is to handle edit. And let's do console.log, console.log. Okay, if you are getting confused here, so this is nothing but the way we write here, like handle task or thing. right? I click here, I get something, what we say. I am not passing here, so let me check the other. Okay, on delete, I pass the ID, right? ID. So instead of ID, I am passing a whole, what we say, task, right? The interface, whole task, which have ID and which have the value also. So if I go here, inspect it, click on edit and go to the console, see, we have ID and task. See, we have ID and task. So what we can do is we can create one state, local state for task list. I will see why I'm doing this. Use state. Okay, this is going to be of type I task. Okay, and edit task set edit task. So what I'm trying to do is I am trying to create one local state for this component. So whenever I click on edit, right? So whatever that atom we have to edit, I'm just like storing in this state. So it's, that is what I have to do. So I call edit task list, pass this atom, and which gets stored in the edit task. Okay. So why I'm doing this? Because when we what we say, when we update any state, this component will get re-render, right? Then we will get to know, come to know at this place. So let me write code. Now we have here full control, like if we have like edit task and it have ID, if that ID is getting matched with this atom.id, right? It means I have to like edit this task. So I will not show this label, I will not show cross button, I will not show what we say, this task. Instead of it, I will show input box. Let's go so you will understand. So all this code I only want when edit task dot id, right, is not equals to atom dot id. Correct? When it is not equals, and I'm writing here all this below code. I am just cutting this and pasting it here. Okay, let's remove this. Where is, okay, let me remove this and paste it directly. Some issues, what happened? Okay, so the issue is like JSX expression must have one parent element, but here how much parent we have? This parent, again this parent, again this parent. So what we can do, we can use the React fragment, right? So yeah, till this. So if when the edit task dot id is not matching to my id, then show this, what we say, show the edit button and cross button. So let's create this. Okay, so now we are not showing that for the first task. So instead that what we have to show is input box, right? So let's write one more condition. When edit task dot id is matching to my component atom, right? What I have to do is I have to show one td, and in that td I will have the input whose type will be text, and its text will be, value will be, here we can pass the value also to the input, right? What will be its value? Edit task dot value, value or task? Okay, task. Okay, let's check. See, right? If I click on edit, now this edit is coming as a input box. Okay, so whatever you click, that will be taken as a edit, right? Any questions as of now, or is it going to getting
This is like
complex?
inline editing, na?
Sorry,
This is like inline editing, correct?
your voice is too low. I'm not able to understand.
This is just like inline editing, na? Inline editing.
Yes, inline editing. Right, right, correct. Inline editing. Okay. So see, I clicked on this edit, go to component and check our data. So in task list, where is, so this is the state, right? Where I am keeping this ID and this read. So whenever it re-renders, it checks like edit task ID is matching to my, then show the input box, then show the button, right? Button that is update. Okay, update. Let's check. Here is update. So this UI is too looking very bad. Okay, let me just wrap this inside div task list and add some styling. Style margin top, margin top 10 will be fine. Okay. Now come back to our task list. Here I have task. Here I have what we say, the button also. So whenever I change, right, that text, we have to handle it, right? Handle, let's name it handle update task. Handle update task, arrow function. It will give us event which will be of type we have already done in the task form, right? So change event HTML input. I'm just using as it is. Let's import this control dot from the React. So this event will have update value event dot target dot value, right? So this value, like whatever I type here, right? Whatever I'm typing here, let's inspect it again. Go to component, task list, here in who. So suppose instead of coding, if I type like coding React and enter, see, it has changed here also. So what we have to do, so whatever we are typing in this input box, we are getting that updated value here. This value we have to update in the edit task, right? Because that is what we are using at this place. So how we can do, we have this function to update it, edit task, right? Sorry, but don't update ID, okay? Otherwise it will be a problem. Edit task, and here I will update only, I think, task, right? Task with this event dot target dot value. Okay, what's the problem here? Okay, otherwise it will be empty. Event dot target dot value, argument of type string, ID is nullable, is not assignable. Okay, ID is not computable. Okay, let's set it a task, keep it simple. So I will just clone. Cloned, edit task. How I can clone? I can use this way. So clone edit task. I will just update the task here with event dot target dot value, right? And I can pass this clone edit task to this. Still we are getting set edit task. What's the problem? Clone edit task. Okay, ID is nullable, task is nullable, undefined. Mhm. Type of property ID is incompatible. Okay, some edit task we have provided. Okay. Because we haven't provided here, see, a dummy data, no? It is taking edit task as a undefined. That is what the problem is. So what we can create is like const default edit data, which is of type I task. Okay, so by default ID we can keep 0, and what's the problem? Okay, it's not a number, it's a string, right? And task as like something empty. Now this default value we can provide here. So we will not face that problem. Otherwise, we will have to handle the undefined unnecessary. Okay, if I remove this error is showing like your ID sometimes means string or undefined, you have to manually handle it. But I don't want to like mess up my code, so that's why I created one default variable having default data. So this edit task will be I task only, not undefined. If I remove this, you will see this is undefined also. So that is how unnecessary code increased. Okay, I think we will need to stretch 5-10 minutes more. Right. So whatever I type here, that is getting updated in the edit task. Now, if I click on update, here we can have the on uh, click button, right? And I can add here arrow function, like handle update some method, but that will be extra again. So what I can do is in our props, uh, here we will need one more function on update, right? And there we can pass whole task, I task, and I don't need anything. Okay, so in this prop we can destructure it here on update, and we can use this on update at this place, and we can pass this edit task to our on update. Okay, so if you go to the task.tsx, this is giving us error. So let's jump to our diagram. Okay, where it is. So here we have this edit button, right? So edit button is getting clicked, then we are passing that updated data to this task component. Now we are able to like update this. So if you come here, we need to add here on update handle update task, right? Console just arrow function. Okay, and we know we are going to get here like item or task, give a proper naming, which is of type I task, right? Let's log this console dot log, right? And inspect whether we are getting like that, what we say, console or not. Okay, some console errors, we can see it later. If I click on edit and I update it coding React and click on update, see, we got this new updated text in task.tsx, right? At this place, a parent component. Okay, now we have to like write our JavaScript code. How we can do? Uh, okay, const. Okay, cloned task list. So this is I'm doing. This is called the shallow. What we say, shallow copy, right? Shallow copy or cloning, right? So here we are getting this. We need to take the index, like which index we have to update, right? So uh, first or second, right? 0 or 1 that we have to take. So arrow function x dot id equals to item dot id, right? So here we will get index. What happened here? Okay, argument of type x dot any is not assignable to itas. Okay. Think, I task. Just a minute. Hmm, Here we will get x dot id. What is this? X is of type any, so we can say like it will be of type I task, and equals to atom dot id. Okay, it is still there. Argument of type I task. Boolean is not assignable to parameter of type I task. Let's see, I'm not able to understand it. Boolean, it is returning Boolean is not assignable to type of parameter I task. Okay, what's declare but is never use its index. Let's check. Index off. We are very much like dependent on chat GPTs nowadays. That's the problem. Okay, index of is returning Boolean. Let's check this, ask ChatGPT directly. Otherwise, I will need some time to like recheck it. Mhm. Okay, ChatGPT or Gemini. Uh, Getting errors. Okay. Expected value of index of method. Find index. Okay, let's use find index then. Here, find index. Okay, so here we are getting index. Then what we can do is we can just clone task list and take the index. So we will get that task, right? Or there is a way I can directly. Okay, no problem. So we can update this clone task list, right? So okay, in this way I think we can do dot task equals to item dot task. So we are like updating this clone task list index only its task value we are going to update with the whatever we type, right? So this clone task have the updated data. Now this we can directly assign to our task list, right? So how we can do inside task list? I can pass clone task list, right? Let's check that. Okay, let's refresh. Read. Right. If I click on this, read, React, let's jump to the components. Check here in our task. We have this read and write. If I update it, okay. Find index is not a function. Okay, fine. Or let me check, use this task list directly. list map. Okay, in task list. Okay, let me refresh it again. Read, write. Let's go to the source in task, and at this place, let's debug our code. Read React update. So we get ID and task. If I debug it, I get this index. Okay, zero index in clone task list. I have this one. So if I update this clone task list, our task is updated, and inside task list, what's happening? It should actually update. Okay, list.map function.
Sagar, go back to the code. It's saying the map is not a function. Maybe in the state we are storing a object.
Yeah, because we have like cloned this one, right?
We have cloned that.
So
And
what I can do?
check the data
Okay.
type of clone task list, debug that.
Yeah, no issue, no issue. So here we can directly like update it. Task list. Then I think here we can pass the index, and in that index, I think we can pass this item as it is. Will this work? Argument. Okay, looks like we have done so much complex. Oh, sorry, this is my mistake. Actually, task list is an array, right? Array. We have destructured it with object. So we have to use here array. Now we should be good. So that is how it happens. Let's refresh it. Read, write, and if I update this read to like read React and go to the component and check it here, it should actually update. Let me click on okay. So if you see, our data has been updated, right? Read React has been updated, but we haven't changed the state in the task list. That is why we are still seeing the input box. So let's do it quickly. Go to the task list. So once I do the callback, right? What I have to do, I need to like clear out this field, edit task, right? So let's do that. Set edit task. And we already have that default edit data. Okay, it means when I update it, update the task list there and reset the local state edit task, so it won't have any data. It means this condition won't get succeeded, and we will see the list. Okay, I think that's fine. Read, write, read React updated. See, write coding program updated. So see how smooth it is. We just need to focus on updating the data, and everything will be managed by the um, React, right? If I click cross, I delete that, it has been deleted. If I delete this, it is deleted. So this is all CRUD we have done. There needs some performance related changes, which is not possible in this 1.5 hour of time. So if anyone have any questions, we are done with this CRUD operation as of now. Any questions?
Sir? Hello,
Yeah,
sir.
please go ahead.
Your voice is
Sorry,
low.
yeah.
What's the best way to
No, we are still not able to hear you. Try to message also in the chat box.
Any other questions?
Is it clear now, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, as we know that we can use Axios for CRUD operations. So what's the best way to use these CRUD operations like Axios or just like this?
See, Axios is like calling the API. It calls the API, right? If you know. Okay, so we are dealing with local data. So this is our local data. So if we have this data in database, we have suppose API, right? So you can use Axios to call the API like create, update, delete. So, but for this, we are just dealing with local data. That's how we are directly updating it. But in practical applications, it don't happen. We have to call API, right? So that is what Axios is used. Did you get the? Did you get? Okay. So what enhancement you can do here, right? So you can like create one file where you have this task list. Okay, but you can create a JavaScript like a structure where you have like a add, update, delete functions, which will work asynchronous, right? So you can use as like a real programming if you don't have API. Because I actually practice in that way.
Sir, if
Any
we
other
want
question?
to integrate the API, then where we need to integrate that means the code
Right.
where we need to give. Yeah.
Okay. So first thing, this task list won't be the this one, right? You will need to fetch. So how you can fetch? You can use use effect, which works after what we say this component renders. These components render, use effect will get called, right? Here we can provide the dependency. You can call here, call the API. You will get list right from the API. You can update state, which is a task list, right? With this list. Okay. So what will happen? Your this list will get updated, and once that state is updated, you will see the latest data, right? And when you click again, edit and delete, you need to call the API. You need to like update that in the task list again, the updated data. So same way it will happen. Okay, any other questions or we are good?
Okay.
Okay, I think we are good.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Sagar. So like मैं जैसे पढ़ा तो वो मेरा टीचिंग स्टाइल टोटल कर रहे हो पे, तो तुम जो ले रहे हो वो पूरा लिखने का तरीका, राइट? मीन्स नॉर्मली हम जब स्टेट बनाते हैं तो डेटा टाइप भी नहीं देते थे, बट यू डिड दैट in function call also you have provided a proper data type for event and everything, right? So it differ when you are actually working and when you just know the concept. So this was really special.
Right, Vichetan, you can arrange one more call where I can like create a structure like just like a API, so I can tell like
Yeah,
a
yeah, we
process this
can
application.
same thing. I have the API for to-do list apps also, but instead of that, now we will try to complete a small project with actual API integration. And I think I forgot like today was not a total holiday, right? Only some of us might have the holiday, so that's why attendance is also very less. We should have done it on tomorrow.
Okay, no issue.
I also forgot like today only some of us might be having holiday. Okay, so guys, thank you for joining. I hope it was beneficial to you all. Thank you, Sagar, for your time.
Yeah, thank you. Much appreciated.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you all.